and I see the worst thing like ever, and it's really sad. All right, so we always make funny videos, right, Olivia? We don't make serious videos, but something serious happened, and Olivia wanted to make a video, right? Because you wanted to make a video. I didn't want to make a video, did I? I kept asking you, are you sure? And Olivia's like, I want to make a video about this. So yesterday, Georgia died.
Georgia's our dog.
Georgia's our dog. So what happened was we woke up pretty early yesterday. So, well, let me start back. All right. Last week, do you remember we had a problem, Olivia, right?
What?
Remember we couldn't flush the toilet?
Yeah.
And so we had this whole thing where we couldn't flush the toilet. Water was coming up the sink in the kitchen, and all the plumbing was acting really strange.
And so then the lights were acting strange.
And we'll get to that. We'll get to that part too. It was unbelievable. So I had insurance on the main drain line, so I called the insurance company to come out, and the plumbing company. They sent a plumbing company. They came out, and of course it wasn't covered. So the guy was trying to fix it. He's like, "Oh, your policy only covers leaks that are on the outside of your house in the pipe, and yours happens to be right inside." So of course it wasn't covered, and so he goes, "Oh, but I can kind of fix it on the side for some extra cash." So of course you know how that goes, the old kind of a shakedown kind of thing. So he wanted like $450 to get this clog, and I got him down to $300 because it's Christmas, so he did me a favor. So anyway, he's working, and he's out there, and he's a nice guy. Otherwise, I mean, and he's out there working on the leak, and I walk in the house because I'm actually at work and I'm working from home.
Oh, and
so
that day I was sick.
You were sick, right? Olivia was sick. So I walk in the house, and I close the door, and all of a sudden I hear a pop, and I'm like, "What was that?" And half of the lights and the TV and the internet and everything goes out. So I was like, "Oh my God,
and
what
then when
happened?"
you were outside talking to the man before he left, we came.
Oh, right. Oh, well, yeah, we'll talk about that too. Even something worse than happened, right? And I'm like, "Oh my God, please let this man fix this leak," because we've been dealing with this for a couple of days now, and getting these guys to come out was a nightmare. So he's fixing that, and I go in the house, I hear a pop, and suddenly half our power's out. And the lights are flickering, and the internet's not working, and the TV's not working. And I was like, oh my God, look, what are the odds that while this is getting fixed, we have another problem, right? They say that bad problems come in threes. So like now there's two problems, right? Two problems in a row. I'm like, oh man, I'm thinking I can't even imagine what the third problem is going to be. So anyway, so he fixes the leak. He's wrapping it up, and this wasn't necessarily the third bad thing, although I thought it was at the time, but I guess it wasn't in retrospect. And the kids and Anna pull up, right? And you have your cousin with you and everything like that. So I'm talking to the plumber, and I hear a horrible, blood-curdling, me and the plumber here, scream coming from the car. Right, Olivia? And who was it?
Mommy?
No.
Huh?
Who was it screaming? Wasn't Mommy. Who was it?
Me?
Right, it was you. And so, do you want to tell everyone what happened?
I got my hand stuck in the door.
Her hand got caught in the door, the sliding door in the car. I don't even know how it happened exactly. But, Olivia, how much pain were you in?
A lot.
Did it hurt real bad?
Mm-hmm.
And you screamed so loud, right? And what else happened earlier in the day? You were already not feeling good because you must have caught like a stomach virus or something, right?
Can you tell?
And you went to Burger King, right? I wasn't there, obviously. I'm home with the plumber. And you went to Burger King with Mommy and your cousin and your sister and your grandmom, right? And what happened when you were playing?
We were playing hide and seek. Sophia was a seeker, and she found my cousin. Then I came out. I said, "Mama, my stomach hurts." And then, so she told me to just lay my head down on the table. So then we were taking a break, and then I said, "My stomach hurts more." So then she held me, and then I threw up.
You threw up all over what, Burger King?
Yeah.
And then what?
And then the workers told my grandmom she had to clean it up.
Gave her a mop and a bucket, and they told her she had to clean the throw up, right?
And they said they didn't have the stuff to clean it up.
So she did it?
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. So then you come home and there's literally throw up on your shirt still because you couldn't get it all off. Then as I'm talking to the plumber, he's finishing the leak up or the clog up. You got to throw up all over your shirt. Then you catch your hand in the door. You're screaming like a mad person, right? So I'm like, oh my God, I ran across the street and I got you. And luckily you were okay. You just hurt yourself, right? And you ran in the house. You went to sleep. We said bye to the plumber.
Well, I had to get changed first.
You had to get changed, right? And then you went lay down for a little while. So, and then you had a whole thing going on all weekend.
And then,
you were sick all weekend.
I woke up again.
You threw up again.
And I woke up again, and Mommy said, and I went downstairs to the kitchen where Daddy and Mommy were. My mom said,
take some Pepto, honey. Here, it was my idea. Take some Pepto. And she went to give you a little bit of Pepto. It was the weirdest timing. She went to give you a little bit of Pepto in your mouth like this, right? Look. And what did you do?
I threw up the Pepto the way on her. I threw up on her shoes. And then the Pepto splattered on the floor. And then I went outside for a bit.
Yeah, because it wasn't that cold out or nothing. So Mommy said, go out and get some fresh air. Just as she was giving her the Pepto on her lips, she just barfed all over the place. It was the worst timing for Mommy. It splashed all over her shoes, right? It was so nasty. And I had to clean it up because Mommy was like, had to go clean her shoes and everything.
And then,
what?
When we were done playing Roblox, we went up to bed. My dad, when he took us up.
Oh God, that night after I forgot about that.
And then.
So let me tell him. So I took him up to bed and we were playing Roblox for a little while, right? And then I was like, all right, guys, want to go to bed? And Olivia said, okay. I think I got you guys chocolate milk and all, right?
Yeah,
you went to bed.
Allowed to.
Right, you went to bed. And so I tuck you guys in. I come back downstairs and I'm relaxing, watching TV. It's like 9:30 or 9 o'clock, whatever it was. Sophia runs down the steps. She goes, Daddy, Daddy. I said, what? She calls Olivia Shishi. Shishi threw up. I said, oh no, she threw up again? So I go upstairs and there's just throw up all over her carpet. It was like 9:30 at night and I just finally sat down. I was so tired because we had a long day with all these things going on. And so I had to bring the carpet shampooer up. I had to clean the whole room, get it all. And then Olivia slept in our room that night on the floor because she was so afraid she wouldn't be able to make it to the bathroom, which is next to our room on the second floor. So she slept in our room that night. And then you stayed home the next day from school, but you were pretty okay by then, right? But we had
Mommy didn't know if I was so sick.
Right, we didn't know, of course. We couldn't send you to school just in case that day. And you were still a little sick when you woke up, right? So anyway, so Olivia was okay finally after all this eventful stuff.
Now
so,
what are you going to tell them about the dog?
Well, the next thing that happened was the electric I had to deal with. So like a couple days later, I finally get my buddy out here, and he's an electrician, and he looks at the electric, and he finds out that it's just a few bad breakers, but there's maybe a problem with the electric company's line that comes in too. So he fixes the breakers, and we've just had problems with the electric recently that had to be fixed. The whole thing was sparking the box. And we had to get our whole service cable and a meter socket all replaced. So Rich says to get the electric company out to fix where it comes into the house, and he's going to replace some of the breakers too, which he does. So we get some breakers replaced. Now the electric's okay. So that was two bad things in a row, if you don't count Olivia's whole problem. And I remember thinking like these two things were related, like plumbing, electric, like their household problems. And I remember thinking like, man, bad things always happen in threes. So, I'm so worried
What's
about
the next bad?
Right. What's the next bad thing that's going to happen? I'm so worried.
And that was the baddest thing.
Right. And we didn't know what was coming at that point. Right. We didn't even know. Right. We just knew maybe one.
It was sad.
So yesterday morning. This was all yesterday. We wake up around. I wake up around 6:30. I put the coffee on, and Sophia and Olivia come down a little later. Right. Not long later, like maybe 7 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And Sophia comes in the kitchen, and I make the girls chocolate milk in the morning. They get chocolate milk at bed. They love chocolate milk, so we do it. So I open the trash can to throw something out, and Sophia sees her foam slime in there. She has that foam stuff that sticks together, you know what I mean? And Mommy must have threw it out because it got like hair in it from the animals or whatever, the floor or whatever. I don't know. And Sophia's like, Daddy, I want my slime. I want my foam. I said, all right, so I take it out. Because it's right on top of the trash. It's not dirty or anything. It's just sitting on a piece of cardboard. So I put it in the sink and I rinse it off with hot water to try to, it wasn't really dirty, but just in case. So I take it and I'm putting it on the countertop to dry it and flatten it out a little bit and pushing paper towels on it or whatever I'm doing. And Sophia's standing there and she looks at me and she says something that kind of blew my mind. What? So, yeah, after I see this, I mean, This is just, it's devastating. I walk up the steps and I see the worst thing like ever, and it's really sad. Georgia is just, she's laying on the floor, and I can see, the kids don't know what happened. Sophia thinks that Georgia's laying down, so I tell her to go in the living room with Olivia, right? Because you're in the living room playing Roblox and stuff, or whatever you're doing. Right? I run upstairs and I tell Anna that there's a problem.
Told us to
and I tell her how the problem's bad, that, you know, Georgia doesn't look like she's alive. So I tell the girls, they don't know what I said yet, because I ran upstairs, I bypassed them, and I told Anna. And Anna starts crying immediately, which I expected. You thought something was wrong with Mommy?
Like, yeah, I thought, because I heard her say, John, John.
Mommy?
Like, yeah.
She screamed, right. And I tell the girls, guys, go upstairs, just go play. And they don't know why. And Anna comes down, and George is just laying on the floor, and I see her chest go up and down. It was like probably her last breath. And like her tongue's hanging out of her mouth, and she's just laying on the floor. It looked like she was trying to get to her bowl of water. And it was sad because we had Georgia. Georgia was 17 years old almost. She was way older than you guys, right?
She was supposed to live to 12 or 15 years old.
Right, so she lived way longer than most Beagles do, but she had some heart problems for the past few years, which we had to give her medicine for every day. The thing was, I picked her up, and I could tell right away that it wasn't good because her body was just limp. And usually when I pick Georgia up, she stiffens up because she hates to be held. So I picked her up, and I put her in her bed, and you could see, it looked like she was sleeping in her bed, right? Because you came down eventually, and you guys were really upset. And what did it look like when she was in her bed?
It looked like she was sleeping.
She was just sleeping. And so we took her to the vet, and, you know.
All she does is sleep.
Oh, she does? She's old. And we took her to the vet, and they said they're gonna take care of everything and have her cremated, and that's like the 3 bad things. So we had 3 bad things happen, and the third one was worse than anything that we thought would happen, right?
Yep.
And you wanted to make a video to talk about it a little bit, right?
And he tried to cheer us up by.
Oh yeah, we went out later on and we saw a movie, right?
And we also ate breakfast.
We saw Puss in Boots. So, Olivia, when Sophia comes down, right, since you guys are probably still upset, right, about Georgia, I know you are, right? Maybe I'm going to tell you guys a little surprise that we have for you guys, and I'll tell it at the end.
Right now?
For when Sophia comes down, yeah. All right, so we're all here, right? And Mommy's here. Mommy doesn't like being on camera, right? So the big surprise is next month in February, right?
I know we're going somewhere.
Olivia figured it out a little bit. We're going to take you guys to Disney World. Does that sound good? And guess what? Here's the cool part. What? Not only is it going to be us 4.
It's going to be
Uncle Jeff, TT Rudy, and hopefully Aunt Joyce and Uncle Rob too. And I got us all big room together for all of us. And we'll all get to like hang out and go to Disney World and other places.
Daddy, a pool there.
What?
It has a pool.
Has a pool, yeah.
So what do you think? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
And you get to take off school for a whole week.
It's going to be so long.
So long. It's only
it's
next month.
less than a month away. It's like 3 weeks.
So that's our big surprise, and then hopefully.
Wait, what day?
February 4th to 11th, and hopefully that'll make you guys feel a little better about, you know, because we had a lot of bad things happen, right? All right, so say bye.
Bye.